welcome back to another Small Rambles video with me, Tobe Allen, writer and mental health advocate. I'm also one half of the BARROW Podcast, the show I do with my mum, where we talk about divorce, dysfunctional families and mental illness while attempting to write our memoir together. I'm following on from the last video I just made, and I've batch recorded here because I'm still in the same place, I'm still in the car, I'm still wearing the same thing, which is actually this really nice, you don't need to see the clothes I'm wearing, but it's actually this really nice Ralph Lauren shirt that a girlfriend purchased for me from like secondhand, what do you call that? Op shop. One of the pluses of having a girlfriend is someone to buy clothes for you. That was always like a really nice treat. She was a very good op shopper, and I quite like secondhand clothes because of manufacturing and the environment and all that sort of stuff. And she often was able to find something that fitted me perfectly, and that was very nice of her. It was always a nice treat to have a fresh shirt to wear that fits, because I hate shopping for clothes. And I don't know why I'm talking about that. I think perhaps that relates to how I began the last video, which was that I had observed some women jogging along the track and thought, I wonder how they feel. What's life like for them between their ears? And as I continue along my journey towards some sort of mental and physical growth and healing and what have you, just wrestling with a lot of questions. And this project that I'm immersed in, as I have discussed in the last few weeks, it's getting to me. It's weighing me down. It's it's been a long time now, a long time of working on it. And some of those little sadnesses in our life, in Mum and I's life, the life of my family, they're sad, and they get to me sometimes. So I'm just struggling with that a little bit. But it was interesting to observe those ladies jogging along the track, looking fit and healthy, and very attractive, and to also be thinking about relationships that are no longer here, present in my life. And the question I started with in the last video, of course, was, have I destroyed my life by writing about it? Have I ruined my life by writing about it? And the answer to that is, I don't know, probably, but who cares, really, because I've got to finish the book. So there's a little boy dressed as some kind of dinosaur monster thing. Okay, all right. He's dressed like how I feel. Yeah, okay. So why am I thinking about all this stuff? I don't know. I think when I saw those women jogging along this morning, bright and early, it reminded me of effort that I used to make that I don't make anymore. And I guess I'm trying to reason with myself or come to some sort of understanding with myself as to, do I no longer make that kind of effort because, is it because I'm lazy? Is it because I'm doing this deliberately? I'm trying to sabotage myself by not giving myself the time and space to, look after my appearance or whatever. So is it coming from a bad place, or is it coming from quite a reasonable place of, I genuinely don't have the energy for that kind of commitment to my health or certain aspects of my life? And why was it that I used to and no longer do anymore. I've always said in these videos that like the get back mentality is the worst one. Like, I've got to get back in shape, get back to doing this, get back to whatever. And particularly after COVID, a lot of people have that, oh, you know, I want to get back to when my life was like this and get back to when things were like that. And, you know, it's pretty ruinous. Like, it's not, it's, you know, it's not helpful. And I have avoided and noted when I've lapsed into that kind of mindset of like, I've got to get my body back, I've got to lose weight and get back in shape and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I guess I'm sort of wrestling with, and I wonder if anyone watching this does too. It's, you know, you don't want to be somebody who makes excuses for themselves too much, right? Like, and I think if you're reasonably self-aware, you understand how you're coming across when you're saying certain things. Oh, well, I didn't have time to, you know, do exercise today because of blah, blah, blah. But then you think about it and you go, yeah, but I haven't had any time to go and do exercise all month. Like, come on, that doesn't seem right. I think that I struggle with giving myself a break. And this might actually relate to something else I want to talk about, which is working without a paycheck and what productivity and success means to you ultimately. You know, I have been working harder and I have been more productive since putting this show together and doing all this stuff. But I have made the least amount of money I've made ever before. And I've never made much money, but I mean, like, I have been making zero money. And what's offset the cost is, you know, living at home to do the project and all sorts of things. So, you know, I'm aware of, I feel like I'm on borrowed time as well. Like, I mean, this can't go on forever. The plan was always to take some time off to work this way and do this project. So I have a lot of guilt about that. But to stick with the kind of like the physical and appearance stuff, I guess, yeah, like I think my disinterest in that aspect of my life, or my, not disinterest because I'm obviously noticing, so I'm interested, but maybe my disengagement or something with that aspect of my life. I do think it's protective, and I think that it's reasonable, as in it's protective for a good reason, which is that the emotional weight of the project, you know, makes life quite difficult, and I am working a lot, and I think my body's just saying, don't worry about this for a while, like just let it go, you know, just leave it, which I feel guilty about, and I'm obviously really torn about. I am doing things for my physical health. Obviously, I've talked about that, but it's nowhere near the commitment that it was way back when I was a much younger guy and I was really getting after it in the gym and getting up at like, you know, 7 o'clock and going for a run and all that sort of stuff. It isn't that. But yeah, I don't feel like I have the space in my head and emotionally and otherwise to really to do that. But because I'm noticing people who are jogging along the track, I also feel isolated and excluded from that life of being attractive, looking good. And I think being single sort of brings that into view again too, where you're like, oh boy, like I don't think I could, you know, I would really struggle to go on a date in the state I'm in now. Like, just low yeah, low mood, low feeling, low confidence right now with where we're at in the project and the things that have been coming up as a result. I'm back in therapy, and my counselor, my therapist, has been saying that the work I'm doing is basically re-traumatizing me, and I should just look after myself, and it's okay to go for a nap in the middle of the day and all that sort of stuff. So maybe I shouldn't be contemplating this stuff at all, really. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. That's like this video and the last one are kind of like a mood update, for what it's worth. Yeah, if any of that resonates, or you've been through a period like this before, or you've ever done like a project that really takes it out of you emotionally. I've always been interested in people who come off their like mental health medication to do things like, I think Kanye West said something about that once. I don't know what's going on with that guy anymore. I don't really follow pop culture, but I do recall him saying that he would stop medication when he was like working on an album, and obviously that would put him in a different space. So I don't know if there's anyone out there who's ever gone through patches of creative production, but at the cost of their sort of well-being, or you relate to anything I've just said, or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you find any of these little rambles of mine interesting, then you'll definitely love the Barrow podcast. So go check that out. Mom and I, it's much more structured and probably a little bit more engaging than these little videos of mine. But check it out. Links and further info in the description to today's video, or stick around here on YouTube and you can watch unedited video editions of the podcast right here. Bye.